Carole Baskin has a knack for getting her way. Just last year, despite the initial ire of the public over her portrayal in the hit Netflix docuseries Tiger King, she got Congress to pass a new law she has long fought for, one that includes banning the public from touching harmless tiger cubs. And well, it turns out last year, she even got to make an incredibly unsubstantiated and damaging claim about her missing and likely dead husband, and no one bothered to even notice. Not until someone tweeted about it almost a whole year later. Back in November of 2021, Carole made an appearance on a British show Good Morning to discuss Tiger King and other related issues. At some point in the interview, she pointed out the one part of the Tiger King sequel that she found pretty exciting, a document alleging to know the whereabouts of her missing millionaire husband.
I tell you what, one of the really exciting things that came out of Tiger King 2 is that they produced a letter from Homeland Security, and it says that a special agent in charge with the FBI at Homeland Security reached out to the sheriff's detective, George Fernandez, which means this had to have happened after 2002 because Homeland Security wasn't even around until 2002. And they said that my husband, Don Lewis, is alive and well in Costa Rica.
She claimed complete ignorance of the document that was presented. Supposedly, it was from the Department of Homeland Security, and it stated that her husband, Don Lewis, was, quote, alive and well in Costa Rica. Now, make note that Carole never actually says she believes her husband is alive. It is here that Carole realizes she has to be careful, and she's smart. So she goes on a mini tangent about not believing Don could have made it with the money he took with him or something like that.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that, Carole? Do you think that he's still alive?
I didn't think that he was capable of. He took about $1 million down into Costa Rica, and I had agreed to let him do that. So he was only about $80,000 because the investments he had made were so bad. I don't know how it is that Homeland Security says he's alive and well in Costa Rica, but I'm glad to hear it.
Without answering the question, do you believe Don is alive? She only tells us that she's glad to hear he's allegedly alive. So it's actually pretty appalling that she will use this information, which she knows is unverified, for her own gain. I mean, if there was actual proof that Don was alive, that would be huge news. Not just for Tiger King viewers, but such evidence would exonerate Carole in the eyes of the public. I think it's safe to say that there would be a tremendous incentive for her to look into obtaining definitive evidence of this bombshell revelation instead of just casually mentioning it on some European morning show. I think we have good reason to believe that, for some reason, Carole does not believe Don was found to be alive after his disappearance, where his credit cards were never used again and he never contacted any of his family members. Don was declared legally dead in 2002 for a reason. Despite this implausible bit of information, Carole did not hesitate to exploit it for her image. Whether she had something to do with Don's disappearance or not, this is actually pretty scummy. However, it gets stranger. Just where did this document that was shown on Tiger King 2 even come from? Homeland Security was actually contacted by media outlets, and they, as of this time, are refusing to address anything about this situation. The sheriff's department that supposedly received this letter has also released a statement. We have not received any communication from our federal partners that confirms the location of missing person Mr. Don Lewis. The investigation into Don Lewis's disappearance remains a priority for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, as do all missing person cases. They have confirmed that Don is still considered to be a missing endangered adult. So just what the heck is going on? Who would have the incentive to fabricate a document proving Don is not dead? But what's even more suggestive is that Carole, who claims she had no clue about the Homeland Security document, was aware of a document claiming that Don was found alive in the past by another organization, U.S. Customs. Get this. In 1997, a nearly identical claim was made about Don being found in Costa Rica, according to a, quote, unconfirmed report. One that prompted Lewis's eldest daughter Donna and her husband Tim to search for him in that country unsuccessfully. In response to that report, Carole is quoted as saying, "I really don't know what to think. If this is true, I'm really glad he's not in jail somewhere." Lewis's daughter said in a statement, "In the past few days, we've learned of recent news articles being published claiming that our dad, Jack Donald Lewis, has been found alive and well in Costa Rica. While we would certainly welcome the good news of our dad being found alive, it's just simply not true. In late 1997, we were notified by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department that a report existed from U.S. Customs stating that our dad had been seen in Costa Rica. This was the same report that was shown in Tiger King 2 that is now being used to fill a different narrative as to what happened to our father. So now we have yet another mysterious unconfirmed report, and the spokesperson for the Lewis family is saying that it is actually the same one from 1997, and it has been doctored. And apparently, there was a witness who recanted their claim that they saw Don. It's all very confusing, and no one can even find this mysterious document, not even Carole, who apparently searched for it in 2022. But one thing is clear, I'm sure Carole has a better idea of what's going on with these documents, and she's not oblivious to the similarity of the claims that were made in 1997 and now apparently in 2021, both from sketchy sources that she doesn't seem to be too concerned about, but she's more than willing to present this information to us as fact, without directly saying she believes in any of it. Yet, Carole's current husband has written on a Big Cat Rescue website, and for anyone who still wants to believe that Carole killed Don, then please explain to us why you think armchair detectives or you are better informed than a special agent in charge at the FBI in this Homeland Security document which says Don Lewis is currently alive and well in Costa Rica. This was reported to Jorge Fernandez of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office by the SAC at the FBI according to this letter. While they have purposely redacted the SAC's name and date, we do know that there wasn't a Homeland Security until November 2002, which was 5 years after Don Lewis left home in Tampa, Florida. So let's review what we know about this case. Carole Baskin has emphasized that an unproven document shows that Don is alive. Carole is still refusing to be interviewed regarding Don's disappearance and is no longer cooperating in the investigation. Let's not forget that Don disappeared soon after he filed a restraining order against Carole, telling someone she had threatened to kill him. And last, Carole collected at least $4 million as a result of Don's disappearance. So, at the very least, it's just pretty crappy of Carole to flash this clearly false information for self-serving reasons when Don has relatives that are being hurt by her actions. However, I'm seeing a lot of reasons to believe that there are some serious shenanigans going on with these claims of Don's not being dead that all seem to benefit only one person, and that person has utilized their financial privilege to force the general public to comply with their personal views on captive exotic cats.